Oh, Craig.
Welcome
Sounds
to
like a. Oh, God. Never mind.
no. This is what a bonus episode's all about.
I was just gonna say it sounds like we're entering like a Street Fighter game.
I don't like it. It is a little 8-bitty. I like it. Welcome to Wicked Banter. We are in our bonus episode, and in this episode of Wicked Banter, we are going to be talking about a roster with the original Steve Rogers, not the World War II one, but the one from the first core box. Discount Steve. JP, David, you guys were working on this. This was sort of your brainchild. So, what made you think of this?
You want me to take this, David?
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
All right. So after LVO and the CGR nerf, I was expecting the meta to shift to Hellfire and Webs. And I was looking for a way to kind of crack that meta in a way that would punish opposing teams on turn 0 if they randomly chose one of my secures or extracts poorly. My initial thought was Brotherhood. Because they can run this Mystique scenario team, or they can run the Mags attrition team. So you could run the secures and extracts that people just don't like, or they may not like, I should say. There will be some in there that they don't like, and some that they do like. So it's kind of a Russian roulette on your scenarios. If you end up on one that they do like, you might be slightly unfavored, but you still have game. So
Well,
like
and
you
you're
would
building
run
the roster to play them anyway, so you're like,
Yeah, correct. I mean, like if you run on Scoundrels and like Spider Infected against like Webs, I don't think you're favored,
no,
right?
probably not.
But like you just run Scoundrels because it's still good with Mystique.
Yeah.
And you just chance that Webs draw something else and not Scoundrels. So I was thinking like Brotherhood has the best. Well, they used to have the best Senators team, arguably still. Now that Deception's restricted, it's less good, but I think you still run Deception in a Mystique list regardless.
Yeah.
So you typically
Absolutely.
get to pick threat there. So you'd be at 19, you take Hulk, Jugs, Mystique, Toad, and whatever 3 threat you want, Pyro, blah blah, whatever. And you like try to bully their extracts on their side round 1. And I think their Brotherhood's probably the best team for that. And then you run like Researcher, right? So like we were saying in the episode, the free episode here, that like Researcher, Webs, and Hellfire just do not want to land on that. It's super punishing for them. And then whatever other extract. And then for secures, you run like Scoundrels, and then like some like Magneto secures, and you kind of just like flex your list around how the scenario matrix shakes out once everything is drawn out. What I was finding was that the Mystique list side, the scenario side, was just, it didn't feel great into like strict Webs. And like I just feel like Webs and Hellfire still had an advantage there, and I didn't quite like the way it felt. I'm sure there's people who disagree, and I probably didn't explore it quite enough, but I thought that the tempo that Steve 1 offered a list to combat another scenario team was worth looking into. And I kind of found that the Steve 1 list at this point, with like the cable buff, and like the way the meta's shaken out, that they can kind of play a very competent scenario or attrition game. So I started exploring an idea for a list there, and then the results for Adepticon came out, and it turns out that other people thought the same way. So I was not alone. So I wasn't a snowflake. I didn't have this grand idea that nobody else thought of, but I also was the tournament confirmed some of my suspicions. Parker placed top 8 with a Steve list, and Jeremiah England, I believe, placed 9th. He just missed cutoff on day 1 with an Avenger list as well. So, and they both ran Steve 1, like primarily a Steve 1 list, not a Sam list. So I think that the idea is there and proof of concept is there as well. I've had fairly good luck with it locally. It doesn't feel like stupid broken, but like I don't think anything necessarily feels stupid broken right now. So I think that it's flexible enough to give the meta fits right now, just based on turn 0 scenario draws, which I really like. I think that adds an aspect to the meta right now that's lacking. Right now, it's kind of scenario or attrition or bust, where I think Steve occupies a unique area in the middle that can, like, Avengers are flexible anyway, but when you start stacking scenarios that really punish your opponents for drawing poorly, it becomes kind of an enticing list. So we can get into the list more specifically.
Right.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
you're also getting into their headspace too, right? About deciding, like, if they have priority, it's like what do they pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know a lot of people are really down on Researcher, but I think it's good for the meta. I know that's a hot take, but I really do.
I agree with you. I think it is good for the meta too.
Yeah,
lot of
I would
people-
agree. It keeps those scory lists at check, honestly. Keeps them in bay
That's
a
a
little bit.
sample of Wicked Banter,
lot of
our
people-
bonus content. You can hear the rest of this and all our bonus content by becoming a Patreon at www.patreon.com/wittybantercast. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to our bonus content, entries into our monthly giveaways, priority dojoing of rosters, and more. Thanks for listening, webheads.